Was Southern secession legal or justified? Have you ever wondered about the legality and justification of Southern secession during the American Civil War? This question takes us into a complex historical debate. To understand this, we need to look at the legal arguments and the context of the time. The United States Constitution does not specifically mention secession. This absence led to heated discussions in the 19th century about whether states could leave the Union. Southern states believed that the Union was a compact among sovereign states. They argued that each state had the right to withdraw if it felt its interests were at risk. This belief in state sovereignty was a significant idea since the founding of the nation. On the other hand, many Northern leaders and legal scholars argued that the Union was meant to be perpetual and indivisible. They pointed to the Articles of Confederation, which described the Union as perpetual. The Constitution aimed to create a more perfect Union. After the Civil War, the Supreme Court reinforced this view, ruling that the Union was indestructible and that unilateral secession was not allowed. During the Civil War, the question of secession was ultimately settled by force rather than legal argument. The Confederate states tried to leave the Union, but the federal government did not recognize their independence. The Union's victory established that secession was not permitted under the Constitution as interpreted by the federal government. Before the war, the legality of secession was never clearly resolved by the courts. The case of Jefferson Davis, the president of the Confederacy, highlights this uncertainty. He was charged with treason, but his trial never occurred. Legal arguments suggested that if secession was valid, Davis could not be guilty of treason, as he would no longer be a citizen of the United States. The Union's choice to try Davis in a civil court instead of a military tribunal showed a desire to address the issue through established legal processes. Regarding justification, Southern states cited various reasons for secession, including states' rights and concerns about federal overreach. However, the main cause, as stated in many official declarations of secession, was the protection and expansion of slavery. The lost cause mythology, which developed after the war, often minimized slavery's role, focusing instead on states' rights and regional identity. This narrative has shaped how some view the causes of the Civil War, but historical evidence shows that slavery was the central issue driving secession. From the perspective of the American Civil War, Southern secession was not legal under the prevailing interpretation of the Constitution after the war. Its justification was closely tied to the defense of slavery, despite later attempts to frame it as a matter of states' rights. The war itself resolved the legal question by force, and the Union's victory established that states could not unilaterally leave the United States. The lost cause narrative, which seeks to minimize slavery's role, does not align with the historical record of the secession crisis.